Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Monday tabled the economic report which detailed the state of various sectors in the country as well as possible reforms to accelerate growth. The survey projected an 8 to 8.5% growth in GDP for the Indian economy during the fiscal 22-23. The value is however lower than expected growth for fiscal 21-22 of 9.2%. India's GDP at present is 1.3% above pre-pandemic levels, economic advisor Sanjeev Sanwal said.
In continuation with reforms put in place last year to stimulate the economy, the survey focused on supply-side reforms to improve the resilience of the country. Growth in the upcoming fiscal is set to be supported by vaccine coverage, gains from supply-side reforms, and easing regulations. According to the survey, consumption trends in the country remained intact despite the third wave of COVID-19.
Barbell strategy was the following. On one hand, what we did, we used safety nets to provide some sort of a buffer for vulnerable sections, both of society and of the economy, whether it's MSMEs and so on. And on the other hand, we responded iteratively based on Bayesian updating of information. So rather than you use high-frequency data to keep track of what's happening and respond as quickly as possible. Key enabler of our strategy, the combination of on one side, resilience or safety net, and Bayesian updating and response on the other.
Indian economy may witness growth of 8 to 8.5% in 2022-23. Agriculture and allied sectors have been the least impacted by the pandemic. The sector is expected to grow by 3.9% in 2021-22. Services sector was the hardest hit by the pandemic, estimated to grow by 8.2% this financial year. Survey warns to be wary of imported inflation. Wholesale price-based inflation during the current fiscal shows an increasing trend and has remained high. Climate finance will remain critical to successful climate action for India to achieve its net zero carbon emission target by 2070. Initiatives such as the relaxation of other service provider (OSP) regulations and telecom sector reforms would significantly increase job creation and catapult the IT services sector to the next level of growth. Capital expenditure grew by 13.5% year-on-year in April to November. Focus was on infrastructure-intensive sectors like roads, highways, railways, housing, urban affairs. The total capital expenditure rose to 2.74 lakh crore in April to November 2021-22. It was 2.41 lakh crore a year ago. The 2022 budget of central government would be presented tomorrow. However, before the budget session, Congress has scanned the Modi government's economic condition. Congress alleged that fuel prices have inflated during Modi's tenure, arguing that if Congress ruled, the country's petrol would have been cheaper by 22 rupees and diesel by 25 rupees.
उज्ज्वला योजनेच्या नावाखाली मोदी सरकारने पेट्रोल पंपावर आणि वर्तमानपत्रात प्रचंड जाहिराती केलेल्या आहेत, प्रचंड खर्च केलेला आहे. परंतु LPG सिलेंडरच्या किमतीमुळे ज्यांना उज्ज्वला गॅस दिलेले आहेत त्यांना वर्षात 3 सिलेंडर सुद्धा घेता येत नाहीत असं CAGचं म्हणणं आहे. वर्षभर तर टिकतच नाही ते आणि त्यांना पुन्हा मग लाकूड कोळसा आणि शेणीवर स्वयंपाक करावा लागतो. 2014 मध्ये LPG सिलेंडरची किंमत 410 होती, ती आज 900 रुपयाच्या वर गेलेली आहे, काही ठिकाणी 1000च्या वर गेली. आपण सगळे पाहतोय 2.5 पट किमती वाढल्या. आता गॅस येतो परदेशातून, तर आंतरराष्ट्रीय गॅसच्या किमती या 13-14 मध्ये 880 प्रति मेट्रिक टन होत्या, ते 22 मध्ये कमी झालेल्या आहेत, 775 आहेत. पण मोदींनी मात्र गॅसच्या किमती भरमसाठ वाढवल्या आहेत, कर वाढवले. कमर्शियल सिलेंडरच्या बाबतीत बोलायचं झालं तर कमर्शियल सिलेंडरची किंमत 2200-2000 रुपयेपर्यंत वाढलेली आहे. ती आमच्या सरकारच्या काळामध्ये 1546 रुपये होती. पाईप नॅचरल गॅस, घरात जो पाईपनी गॅस दिला जातो त्यामध्ये देखील 35 रुपये 61 पैसे प्रति युनिटची किंमत होती. त्यामध्ये देखील मोदी सरकारने 54% वाढ केलेली आहे.
Former Congress Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Prithviraj Chavan, alleged Modi collected 24 lakh crore through excise duty levied on fuel taxes from last 7 years. Excise duty on fuel during Congress regime was 9.45 rupees, but BJP in its tenure hiked it to 32.90 rupees. According to Congress, petrol would have been cheaper by 22.65 rupees and diesel by 25.25 rupees, Chavan claimed.
करवाढीमध्ये सर्वात सोपा मार्ग म्हणजे डिझेल पेट्रोलवर करवाढ. आणि ती डिझेल पेट्रोलवर मोदी सरकारने गेल्या 7 वर्षामध्ये एक्साइज ड्युटीच्या माध्यमातून आणि बाकी कर डिझेल पेट्रोलवर लावलेले, त्यातून 24 लाख कोटी रुपये गेल्या 7 वर्षात गोळा केले. हे 24 लाख कोटी जर डिझेल पेट्रोलच्या करातून मोदी सरकारने गोळा केले नसते तर सरकार चालवता आलं नसतं.
Shamchari for Gua 365 from Panaji.